Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I am Kev, and this week we are talking about The Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 1. This movie was released in 2014. This is the third movie in the Hunger Games franchise, and it is based off the first part of the third book. The third book was split into two movies, so you have the part 1, part 2. It's one of those movies, or one of those instances where they did that with the movies. They did the same thing with the Harry Potter, and I think they did it with Twilight too, and several other ones. But anyway, this movie is about just over 2 hours long. It starts out almost immediately where Catching Fire left off. Which is what we talked about last week. Katniss has woken up in District 13, where she didn't realize existed after ending the Hunger Games, destroying the stadium, and basically starting a rebellion. She wakes up and is kind of disoriented, doesn't really know what's going on. She's trying to recover after basically ending this whole thing, and is the people in District 13 the leaders of District 13 who are trying to build up this rebellion, or trying to get her to join, and eventually they, some of her friends and family who are now in District 13, tell her that District 12, where she's from, is no longer exists. As soon as the games ended, or as soon as she was in the games, they destroyed District 12 to stop the uprisings. Just leveled the whole thing. But they were able to get some of the people out. So they send her out to try to get her to join the rebellion. They send her out to District 12 so she can see her home, she can see what's happened, and see if they can get her to join, because she's still kind of reluctant about wanting to be the face of this uprising, even though Plutarch has pushed for it and basically said that she's the only one that can do it. Still have all your main people in this. You still got Finnick, who we met in the last movie, who was one of the former victors. Beetee, who was another former victor, who she met in the last in the last one, who was part of the rebellion. You've still got Haymitch and Effie as well. You also meet President Coin, who is the leader of District 13. And a few new characters. Actually, this is the movie, I guess, where you meet the most new characters of any movie, is what I believe I read somewhere, which is interesting. So I thought that was interesting. But you see her, eventually she agrees to join the rebellion. She starts going out to film propaganda videos that they can use to get more people involved. To do this, they end up sending her out to some of the districts to the front line so that she can see what's going on and people can see her out there. President Snow ends up seeing this at the Capitol and ends up ordering an airstrike on a hospital and killing a bunch of wounded people in one of the districts. And that just ends up causing Katniss to rise up even more, causing even more people to join the fight against the Capitol. More attacks keep happening on the Capitol. A group of rebels attacks a dam and knocks out power to most of the Capitol. And we talked about it last time that Katniss was upset that they didn't save Peeta. And they've been using Peeta against her. They've been showing him in propaganda, the Capitol has as well, during this whole time of talking about, how the rebels need to stop, this isn't good for anybody, and you can see him being getting thinner. He looks like he's been tortured and beaten. His face is thin and he's bruised and everything else. And eventually they send a team in to go rescue him after knocking out the power to the Capitol. And during that, they find out that President Snow knows that they're there, but they don't stop the team. They let them leave with all the other tributes who were still held captive by the Capitol. And when they get back, Katniss goes to see Peeta, and he ends up trying to kill her. When she wakes up, she learns that he's been brainwashed by the Capitol to believe that she is a threat. And they're now going to have to try to unbrainwash him to get him back to normal. And that's the last scene you see is her watching him struggle as he's strapped to a bed and basically panicking. And that's where it cuts to black and then the movie ends. But it's a kind of a dark, sad. I mean, they're all dark and they're all sad because it's a dystopian, futuristic movie about kids having to fight to the death for survival in a oppressive society. So, the whole thing is dark and sadistic and terrible, but this one is even more so. This movie, I believe, had one of the best opening weekends of the year. It did okay. Made $755 million at the box office. So it did pretty well. It was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. A couple of things that I found interesting was it was dedicated to Philip Seymour Hoffman, who played Plutarch, because he actually died before the film was finished, and other characters ended up taking some of the lines that he was supposed to have. So, and Jennifer Lawrence was apparently very reluctant to sing. She was actually terrified, it says, to sing the Hanging Tree song was the first scene that they shot in the movie, and the director had to get several cast members to calm her down and like work her, let her know that she could actually do it. So, but she was very terrified, it says, to sing this song. I also saw that, where was it? Liam Hemsworth said that the kissing scenes with Jennifer Lawrence were the most awkward. He said she would eat foods with garlic or tuna before any kissing scenes between them, which is kind of funny. So this movie, if you look at our Rotten Tomatoes ranker here, this movie's right in the middle. This is number 3 out of 5. So 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. Catching Fire, we talked about, was number 1 in the 90%. And the first Hunger Games movie is an 84. So this is third. It's, I guess, you've got 2, 1, 3. So you've got, this is what is going on. So it's third. It's where it, I guess, should be. If you're going down, it's just 1 and 2 are flipped. So this one is not, didn't apparently do as well as the first 2. I still like it. I still think it's excuse me, it's a fun franchise. I think it's something fun to watch. Again, not necessarily a happy franchise. A lot of death and murder and sadness. But it is a interesting concept and for a movie. So yeah, I think it's something definitely worth watching. Especially it's a couple hours, so it's not too bad. But anyway, I think that is it for this week, folks. Next week, we got the second part of this, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So don't forget to watch that. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll talk to you guys, I guess, on New Year's Eve.